I think one of the biggest things that you can have when you're in a little bit of a rut or everything feels the same and you're doing the same routines all the time, especially if you ever deal with stuff like depression or similar as well, it can feel like nothing's likely to change. I mean, this does touch on stuff that I've shared recently on shorts, but there's just one point I wanted to make about it, really. And that's we often think, like, because we can't see where things are going to change or how they're going to change, that nothing is going to change. And you forget that it only takes one tiny thing sometimes to change everything, like one small little shift. And it can be the smallest thing that comes out of nowhere. It can be a conversation that starts randomly. It can be looking for something and finding a new job. It could be looking through and finding something that you fancy going to and meeting people, just trying something different. It can be coming across a conversation and then joining in that conversation, and things come from there. There's like tons and tons and tons of examples. But what we often do is we sit and we think, oh, I'm just doing the same thing as always. I can't see where anything's going to change. How is it going to change? You don't realize it just changes instantly. There's times when, say, you've been single for a long, long time, and maybe you healthily want to meet somebody, because it's not healthy when you're like really craving it and searching for it, but you can get to a stage where you're past that and you are just ready to meet someone. And you get into that mindset of, well, I don't see how or where, and it's been this long, and someone can just pop up out of nowhere. It could be a friend of a friend, it could be someone you bumped into randomly, it could be someone that's something you've just tried, it could be anything. And this is how it happens. Things just happen out of nowhere. And a tiny, tiny step today can lead to an entirely different future. And if you look back at changes in your life at times, you can look all the way back and see where it began just from a small thing. And that's what you've got to remind yourself when you're sort of in that rut of like, oh, everything's the same and I don't see how it's going to change. And it takes the smallest thing. And even if you're not outside much, it can happen online just the same. There's so many literal instances of things that just happened, and it was a tiny, tiny thing at the time, but it changed the entire course of your life. But you don't see that yet. So if you ever feel that way, just remember how fast things can change and how a small step can literally change your entire future, and it can happen in a split second at any time.